How was your start in the morning?
Uh, I have two kids and they both slept in, which is fantastic. But then the rush to get out the door and get them where, they need to go was a little bit hectic. but,
There's
but I'm
must be something in the air, man, because my boy slept in as well.
Do you all have a daily morning routine, or is it just stay up and wake up the kids?
Oh, well, when we're home, we're really home, like we do our best to be as present and involved and, you know, there as much as possible. So when we're on the road, we're definitely we're gone.
Yeah, my routine is make sure I get coffee, and then the rest follows.
Yeah.
Yeah, you recently wrapped up a run of shows in Germany and Europe. And how was the start in the morning there? Was it more like stressful and what very more like, oh gosh, this last nights were too damn stressy?
No, not at all. It was beautiful. We love being on tour, and all the various ways that you can tour, and that one, it was definitely planes, trains, and automobiles, literally. But the morning, sorry, Brent, I just kind of went away with this one, but
Go for it.
it was nice. Like, Brent and I, we usually have our own hotel rooms, but on the Germany stretch of things, we got to room together. So I got to keep him up all night with my snoring. But like, it was kind of cool to like wake up and you have just enough time for a cup of coffee and just to kind of breathe a second. And then we were on a train. You know what I mean? It was like, you got to get to the next town, which was great because you're looking out the window and, you're seeing beautiful countryside, because we traveled a lot of miles or kilometers or whatever, and got to be, amongst the other Germans. It was a beautiful experience.
Where's the difference between touring the US and cities in Europe?
Um, well, there's a lot of difference. The main one is um, we traveled by train in Germany, and so we pretty much traveled the entire country. We went from Munich all the way to Berlin on train, which was really awesome. Like it was such a cool way to travel. Um, but the thing that we noticed, and we've heard that other artists speak of this as well, but just the respect the German audience gives while playing your music. They do their research. They look you up. They listen to the songs before they come so they can sing along. It's the same in the UK. The UK does that as well. But man, the German fans and the people we got to meet and hang with after every show, we would go out in the crowd and just hang with people, and um, it was such a lovely experience. And it is great in the States too. I mean, we love touring the States, but there's a little bit more attention to detail over there.
So yeah, touring in Germany, this past time we were on trains, which was awesome. But in the US, it's like in a van, like a big 15 passenger van with a trailer most of the time, sometimes on a bus, and then every now and then, and by plane. But never a train. We've never done a train in the US. And it makes touring over in Germany made us go like, man, I really wish there were more trains in the US because it was so easy. You don't have to worry about stopping and getting gas or, stopping for restroom breaks. There's a bathroom on the damn train.
So as a German, it's a little bit shocking that you already liked going by train on this tour, because we do have our problems with our trains and with the Deutsche Bahn, because they are normally are every time they are delayed. So do you have that problem?
Well, luckily we had a guy with us the whole time, Simon,
Mhm.
and he had us on time and spot on every time. I don't remember. There might have been a delay, but he if there was, he kept that from us and kept everything cool and relaxed.
I think we were starting so early in the morning, our first like stretch of things, that like it was, I guess, before the delays were starting to set in. Like we might arrive a little later at some places, but as far as the initial departure, it was pretty on time.
Okay, so after getting on the train and early in the morning, how was it to finally stand in front a German crowd in the evening?
I tell you what, man. You asked earlier if it was stressful or anything, and absolutely not. It wasn't stressful, but we were exhausted a lot. It was a lot of early mornings and a lot of late nights and a lot of cheersing beers with our new German friends. So I just remember being like, all right, do I have enough energy to get through this show? And the German crowd always pumped us full of energy, and we got through it, and it was such a great time.
When we look at your set list, and what do you think? Which songs from your parking lot projects were cheered up the most?
Oh, that's a good. Dang the Whiskey is always fun. You know, we in States we call it a barn burner. You know, it's fast and it's loud and it's obnoxious. That was always fun to play and well received. I also feel like if we did man, that's a great question. Mama, I'll Be Okay is always a good one too.
Yeah, I think Dang the Whiskey is probably the top received. It has a sing along part, oh oh oh, and the crowd would always sing along with us. That's a big one for us in the States as well.
Sometimes artists tell me that they did not expect to hear a crowd from another land singing a specific song that loud, or and liking that because it's more like an album cut or something like that. Do you have this kind of expression too?
100%. It was wild. Like, you know, we were honestly before the tour, you know, we were talking about, you know, what's it going to be? We've never been to Germany. We don't know if do we stream well over there? Like, is anybody going to care? Are they just going to be looking at us like we're aliens on stage? You know, like, but yeah, every night we got up there and people were singing along. People were, you know, watching with smiles on their face. Sometimes they were dancing, definitely drinking beer. And it was every night. It was a surprise. And, you know, that's a surprise that never gets old.
I think that because country music is consumed really, really different than in the States, you can't know which songs will be like the barn burners, yeah, because country music isn't played at the radio over here, yeah. You don't have that on the radio. Even the big stars like Morgan Wallen or Luke Combs are not played at radio. So now we have Fast Car from Luke on radio, yeah, but it's like something you will not hear a Morgan Wallen song or a Keith Urban on German radio. That's unlikely. So it's more like streaming and getting the music over YouTube or something like that, or discovering guys like you at a concert when you never had heard of them.
Yeah.
So I'm
so
doing
great.
country music for like 8 years or something like that. I know them, but there are a lot of guys coming to the shows who just see, oh, it's country music in Germany, I have to go.
That's really, really cool. I think that's such a great thing. And personally, I believe that's the way it should be. I mean, in the States, there are a lot of gatekeepers that decide what's going to be on radio and what's going to be, you know, top 10 and that kind of thing. A lot of politics involved. And there's obviously a lot of talent out there who are the top 10. But sometimes I think it's great for just to put it out there and let people discover it, and without any sort of barrier in between the song and the audience. You know, no filters to go through to get it to where it needs to go. I think it's a great thing.
So you two did not tour alone on this trip. So you had Austin Jenks and Steven Wilson Jr. with you. So I remember Austin did tour Germany like 4 or 5 times before that. So was he like the travel guide for you?
Yeah, we've known Austin for a long time. I remember I met him probably back in like 2015 or something. But like we've been hanging with him and writing songs, and But yeah, so he definitely had a lot of information, like, hey, if you guys want to go check out this thing over here, that's cool. This restaurant's good, like. But Steven Wilson Jr. has also been. I don't know if he's been in Germany much, but I guess he's been over in Europe at least a bunch. But that lineup, honestly, it felt kind of weird. It's like, why in the world are we, the last of three, like the headliner or whatever, when I feel like, Austin and Steven, like they've been working over here a little more than we have, but we were it was fantastic being with them on stage and on the road with them.
So when on the road with these two guys, did you write any songs together on trip?
I don't think on the trip, but I know pretty soon after the trip, me and Austin wrote a song, and then Anthony and Austin wrote a song as well. And we've written a lot of songs with Steven Wilson Jr. before the trip. But I don't think any song was written. We were so busy. And when we had a minute, we were laying our heads down on the table on the train just to kind of catch a little break. But yeah, no songs, I don't think.
When did the idea come to do this, the show finale where all your four were singing and covering songs? So who had that idea, and how did that work?
Brent and I are always about whatever way we can showcase our community, the people that make us better. And Austin and Steven are definitely two of those people. And there's no better way, I think, to end a show than to bring everybody up together. Like, we did this together. I don't know which one of us had the idea, or if it's even worth giving credit to, but like, I will say it was whoever had the idea. It's a great idea because it was awesome. And we did the
last minute. It was last minute too. We were in Munich and we were like, hey, y'all want to join us at the end of the show? Yeah. What are we going to do? I don't know. And then we decided to do Won't Back Down by Tom Petty. We were trying to pick a song that we all liked and also thought that people would know and could sing really loud to. And that song has that chorus. It's just like, hey, baby. And it worked great. We always love not only just getting our friends on stage with us, but having a song that everybody knows and you hear everybody in the room singing together. There's nothing like it in the world. There's nothing that compares to that, in my opinion.
Especially this song is really good for that last minute thing, because nobody has to learn the lyrics. Everybody knows the lyrics.
Yeah.
Do you have an unforgettable memory from all those concerts and shows?
Yes, I have mine. The first day was in Munich, and we didn't really know the area at all. And Anthony and Austin took off somewhere. I don't know what I was doing. I can't remember. And I went to meet up with them. They said, we're at the beer garden. And I was like, just kind of trying to find my way. And it was a Sunday afternoon. And all of a sudden the landscape opened up and there was just all these people drinking beer at a beer garden. And I met up with Anthony and Austin, and there was a band there playing kind of traditional German music. And we had some Wiener Schnitzel and frites. And it was just and the day is like crystal clear blue skies. And I know that we just learning from the other Germans as we were touring that people said that in Munich, when us here in the States think of Germany, that's kind of what we think of, is that traditional way. But it was just such a peaceful, amazing time. I just loved how the community came together in this beer garden on a Sunday afternoon, and it was drinking beer and all ages. It was great.
Yeah, gosh, so many good memories. It was such a beautiful time. But like the last show in Berlin, pick a memory of that tour. We were doing, Won't Back Down, and it was probably the biggest venue we'd played on the tour, and probably the best attended show. So that, you know, it was pretty full and everybody was singing along. And I felt like we kept singing that chorus over and over, hey, baby. And it just got louder and louder. And it was like, it felt like the room was vibrating, you know? And anyways, I feel like I've been telling this story a lot, but it's just, you know, I'm never going to forget it. Austin, you know, who's on stage with us. Austin is like a football player, you know, he's, you know, like 6 foot something and just a big old dude, you know, not somebody you want to tango with. But anyways, like he got so excited and so moved by the moment that like in my peripheral, I see him like running across the stage towards me, and right behind me, he does like a huge roundhouse kick. And it went like right by like mine and Brent's heads, like across the stage, and everybody's just like, wow. And I hear him screaming. I was just like, "Oh my God!" If you know, you would have thought like your favorite football team just won the game or something. But like, you just both the excitement and the energy of that was beautiful, but also to see like, you know, this big old dude get that excited that he's like flying through the air like he's Bruce Lee. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah.
So let's talk about your plans for the rest of the year. What can we or your fans expect? Maybe new music, a new tour, or later this year or next year returning to Europe? What are your plans?
We're definitely planning on coming back to Europe. I don't think it'll be this year, but I would bet it will make it happen next year. And we got a lot of music we're ready to record. It's just when is not established yet, but we got piles of songs that we're excited to go record and get to the people.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward for you to, returning to Europe, and I hope I can make a show then, because
Yeah.
I did not make a show in May. So and I'm looking really forward for new music coming out of you guys, and really thanks for your time in
Thank you.
this, because it's in the morning where you are, right? I mean,
Yeah. It's all good. Thank you for having us.